Everyone. Hope you're doing well. If you're a data professional or you're looking for one, this video is for you. My name is Divyansh and I'm a data analyst. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the analysis of data gathered from a Chicago-based bike share company called Cyclistic to answer the question, how do annual members and casual riders use cyclistic bikes differently? First thing first, let's get to know more about this company. In 2016, Cyclistic launched a successful bike share offering. Since then, the fleet has grown to 5,800 bicycles that are geo-tracked and locked into a network of 692 stations across the city of Chicago. You can unlock a bike from any station and return it to any other station in the system at any time. Cyclistic has been providing flexible pricing plans with the following three options: single day passes, full day passes, annual memberships. Customers who purchase single day passes or full day passes are referred to as casual riders, and members who purchase annual memberships are referred to as annual members. The director of marketing believes that maximizing the number of annual members will be key to future growth. So, rather than creating a marketing campaign that targets all new customers, the director of marketing believes that there is a solid opportunity to convert casual riders into annual members. To achieve this goal, the director of marketing has tasked the analytics team with this question: how do casual riders and annual members use cyclistic bikes differently? Now that you have some background, I'll be beginning my presentation that will be directed towards the director of marketing, who has tasked the analytics team with this question. Cyclistic is a fictional bike share company, but the data is provided by a real company who has made the data public for non-commercial, educational, research, and analysis purposes. Link to the original data set and the data license agreement is mentioned in the description. Hello, director and members of the marketing team. We've conducted the analysis on the user behavior for the year 2023, and I've made this report to answer the question, how do annual members and casual riders use cyclistic bikes differently? So let's get into it. Today in this presentation, we will start with a broad overview of user behavior over the course of 2023, followed by ride distribution by bike types. And then finally, we will look at the insights that we've obtained from this analysis. All right, starting with the annual overview, we'll be looking at the total rides in 2023, the total trip duration in hours, and then the average trip duration. All right, looking at the total rides, in 2023, Cyclistic had over 5.7 million rides. 3.7 million of those were by annual members, accounting for 64% of the total rides. 2 million of those were by casual riders, accounting for the remaining 36%. Close to 2/3 of our users are annual members, but there's still more room for memberships to grow. Looking at the total ride hours in 2023, the users rode our bikes for 1.7 million hours. Interestingly, casual riders spend more time than the annual members. So although our casual riders contribute only to 36% of the total rides, they account for 56% of the total ride time. This is important to note since all users at some point are charged by the minute. Now, before we look at further analysis, let's take a few moments to look at the different reasons people bike in Chicago. The different purpose of rides could be commute, leisure, health and fitness, or exploring the city. Chicago has had a long history with biking, and it's very bike friendly compared to other cities in the world. Now, continuing to the next part of our presentation, we will be looking at the average duration. By this time, you might have already guessed this. the average trip duration of casual riders is more than that of the annual members by a whopping 2.24 times. This is a very important distinction. It is a big indicator about the type of activity our rider is engaging in. All right, this brings us to our next section, ride distribution by time. In this section, we will analyze rides by the month of the year, the day of the week, and the time of the day. Let's look at it. So starting by rides by the month, we see that throughout the year, annual members are taking more rides than the casual riders. The usage is dictated by the climate. August is the busiest month. January is the slowest month. Winters clearly have the lowest rides as the cold weather is a deterrent for outdoor activities. Other than the number of rides, the trend looks pretty much the same for members and casual riders. However, it's important to note that in the winters, the annual members are taking 3.5 times more rides than casual riders. Moving on, we're going to look at the rides by the day of the week. Here, we see a clear difference in the usage trend between weekdays and weekends. Members are using Cyclistic more on the weekdays than on the weekends. Saturday and Sunday are the slowest days for the members. Casual riders are using Cyclistic more on the weekends. Saturday and Sunday are their busiest days. That begs the question, why? Let's look at this at a more granular level. So now we're looking at rides by the hour of the day. Here we see two very sharp differences in the trends. During the day, members have two peaks, while casual riders have only one peak. The first peak for members is at 8 a.m. and the second peak is at 5 p.m. For casual riders, the peak is at 5 p.m., although there is a steady rise in the numbers from 5 a.m. In Chicago, the usual office timing for employees is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Is it possible that annual members use Cyclistic for commute? This might explain the sharp increase in rides at 8 a.m., an hour before work starts, and then at 5 p.m. when work ends. The larger peak at 5 p.m. could also suggest that annual members are using Cyclistic bikes in the evening for leisure other than returning to home from work. Could the casual riders be using Cyclistic for leisure after a day of work, or for exploring the city, or for health and recreation? We can't say with certainty. Let's look at another chart to learn more. Now we're looking at the rides by the hour of the day, but only on Saturday and Sunday. The trends on Saturday and Sunday seem to be similar for both members and casual riders. Between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., we see a peak forming with a plateau on the top where the rides are happening in similar range. This time of the day is perfect for recreation and exploring the city. Both annual members and casual riders seem to be using Cyclistic for similar purposes on the weekends. On a Saturday afternoon, if you step down in the streets of Chicago to meet with the users of Cyclistic, chances are 1 out of the 2 users would be a casual rider, making it a good time to survey casual riders. With that, let's move on to the next section of our analysis. Ride distribution by bike type. So looking at the rides by bike type, we observe that annual members don't seem to have any preference between electric and classic bikes. However, they don't use dock bikes at all. Casual riders do seem to have a preference. They use electric bikes 25% more than classic bikes. This raises a few questions. Are all the bikes priced equally? Or is there a premium for a particular type of bike? Is the choice of bike influenced by price? Is it influenced by convenience? Or is it influenced by features? We can't say. We would need more data points to answer these questions. Now, when we look at the average trip duration by bike type, we see that members' average trip duration on a classic bike is 27% more than on an electric bike. Casual riders' average trip duration on a classic bike is 129% more than on an electric bike. The average trip duration of classic bikes being double that of electric bikes suggests that casual riders could be using it for health reasons or exploring the city. Or maybe classic bikes are more affordable than electric bikes. Without more data on pricing and bike features, no concrete claims can be made. With that, let's move on to the final section of the presentation. The insights. The insights are divided into three categories: observed differences, plausible purpose of rights, and considerations. Observed differences are the ones that we have derived from observing the data provided to us. Plausible purpose of rights, in this section, we're assuming some use cases of the rights based on the data analysis we have conducted. While we aren't absolutely certain about them, they are based on data and they need more data points to be verified. And finally, I have some feedback that could help the objective of the analysis. Speaking of objective, let's recap. Our objective has been to find the answer to the question, how do annual members and casual riders use cyclistic bikes differently? Let's recap the differences we've observed. Starting with the total rides, casual members account for 36% of the total rides, while the members account for 64% of it. Total ride hours. Casual riders account for 56% of the ride time, while members account for only 34%. Average trip duration. Casual riders average 28 minutes, while annual members average 12 minutes. Busiest day of the week. For the casual riders, Saturday and Sunday are the busiest days, while for members, it's Wednesday and Thursday. Slowest days for casual riders are Monday and Tuesday. For members, it is Saturday and Sunday. Based on the observed differences, here are some plausible purpose of rides. For members, it seems like they use cyclistic primarily for commuting to work, then for getting around the city, thirdly for leisure, and lastly for health and fitness. For casual riders, the top purpose seems to be leisure, secondly for getting around the city, thirdly for health and fitness, and lastly commuting to work. These are very reasonable assumptions, but to verify them, we would need more data points. That brings us to the final part of our presentation, the considerations. The scope of the analysis is limited due to the lack of other data points. As mentioned before, the purpose rides are plausible, but cannot be verified without additional data points. Additional data points such as pricing structure of the bikes, fleet distribution across the city, information such as how many electric bikes do we have? How many classic bikes? How many dock bikes does Cyclistic have? Where are they placed across the city? What is the importance of the different bike stations in the city? Are they located near office? Are they located near a park, a school, near homes? Demographic data such as age group, gender, household income could also greatly help with this analysis. With that, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you so much for watching it. And I hope you found this insightful. If you have questions regarding the presentation, let me know. I would be happy to answer them. Until then, take care and have a good day. Bye bye.